Well, this clip. This is the beginning of our game against Cincinnati. About a couple minutes in, I'll just let it run through. There's a couple things that this is the first chance for them. First off, that's not a good enough challenge by Daniel. You get your body in the way; they have to jump through you. Right? Putting a foot in is not enough, right? And the attitude we have on the balls in the air has to be to get positioning first, and then we can win the ball. As you can see, they're more aggressive to win the ball. Puts us under pressure. Good by Jake to play where he's facing. I just need probably a better clearance, but that's not bad. It's wide and high, so it allows us to get back. And here's another issue. I pointed this out with Cam in the Bethesda tournament. There's no reason to give them the ball here because look what happens. All right, they play quickly. We're not set up for it. All right, let them get the ball. Let's get ourselves set up. There's no reason to flip them the ball here for a throw-in. So, and as you see, what comes of this is that we're attacking. And really, and what I wanted to point out here is just, the effort level defensively. As you see, with all the players just walking, as the ball goes beyond us, we're all just standing, kind of watching, letting the play happen. And this is what comes of it. Across into our dangerous area. Player is able to do a bicycle kick. Tony saves it. I mean, that's going in the net if he doesn't save that ball. One of the things you have to realize with the bicycle kicks is that they're dangerous plays if you jump. So Tyler, in this case, again, if the ball's in the air, you got a challenge, right? You put your head in there. I know it might be dangerous for you, but you put your head in there, jump up, it's going to be a dangerous play on them. The referee will usually call it, and even if that had gone in, they would have probably called it back. So as you can see here, we don't challenge for the ball. He's able to get a bicycle kick. And now we're out. Obviously, we cleared the ball. And really, what I'm looking for is that the patterns, our principles of play. Are we moving the ball quickly? Are we switching point of attack? Decent combination play here, right? Can we do everything that we're doing in less touches? And here's an opportunity to switch the point of attack, right? We have opportunity to switch it. Let's switch it. All right, there's no reason to really come back. You can see how we're set up. 1, 2, 3. Let's use the other side of the field. But instead, we try to attack the near space. And it's just not on for these type of runs, right? To dribble through 4 or 5 guys and try to take players on. From that distance, very low percentage play. Here's another clip of just our general play. Just a couple of highlight a few things here. Good quick free kick here. Patient, it looks like. 2-touch play. This is just sloppy by Cam, right? Taking extra touches. That's one of the things that you're looking for when we're playing. Is that are we playing quickly? Are we getting ourselves in good spots? I think Cincinnati does a better job here defensively of just covering spaces. So this is where, the quality has to improve our play, and it's just sloppy here. It's not sharp, but he's fighting for the ball, which we get it back eventually. But you see how they move the ball quickly, right? They're not a bad team. They play one touch there, but we're able to win the ball back eventually. Good one-touch play here by Ethan and Raphael. And here I think we just got to make a better pass here. We can't lose these type of balls through the midfield trying to thread a pass. Tyler's on as you see this pass is being made. Tyler's on the outside. Is he demanding the ball enough? Are we doing enough to help him, Jake, in this instance? I don't know who Jake's passing to in this case. Probably Yassine trying to thread a pass through everybody. I'm not sure, right? It doesn't seem like there's anybody obviously asking for the ball. Ethan and Garrett aren't really, demanding of it. There's pressure. We need options, right? He's getting pressed, or he feels like he's getting pressure. We need players to talk to him, talk to Jake. We end up pick up the pieces here. It's a bad play by them against better teams. This is a turnover when they're going towards our goal. Good, decent interplay by AZ. We're taking extra touches on just about every single possession. Right, again, we're switching point of attack here, but look how long it takes us to do it. It allows them to set up easier. Decent ball, good by Ethan there, playing quickly. It's not a bad play in the end. I think we get a cross off, and they're able to clear the ball. But overall, you can see it's not as clean as it was before. Part of it's their defensive, pressure is a bit better than the last game against Fullerton, but also just how sloppy we are in terms of our touches. We're taking extra touches. Players aren't necessarily moving as quickly. And this is the demand against a better team, is that we have to do the same principles but quicker and with better quality. So you can see just the small mistakes that are being made where we're losing ball, right, in tight spots, making either a bad touch or a bad decision with our passing. They didn't necessarily capitalize on it in this case, but against a better team, these possessions would be lost, right? A team that plays pressures like we do, we would lose the ball and they would be be able to attack against us. So, just highlighting some of the sloppy play from the beginning, The ideas are good, at least somewhat good here in terms of switching point of attack, but they can definitely be improved upon. All right, here's the sequence that leads up to our goal against Cincinnati. I'll let it run out. Starts off with here from a free kick. It's a very good ball by Raphael to the back post. We're not able to win the first one. We were able to win the second one. As you can see, balls to the back post are difficult to defend. And if it was a little bit further into the goal, we probably could have got a head on it. But Daniel's here to pick up the second ball. You know, and we're in good spots. So you can see we set up here 1, 2, 3, which is kind of how we want to work the ball around. And Daniel does a good job of recognizing that he doesn't need to take those players on. And finds the next open play. If you have 2 players on you, there's usually somebody open that you can find in a more dangerous position. And here, I think what I see is that, you know, Garrett could do the same exact thing. Instead of keeping possession, which is what he does here, he plays quickly and keeps possession. You know, can he get it in a position to shoot himself from this pass, or can he find Ethan? Because Ethan's the next person running off this next pass. And as you can see, Ethan's asking for the ball, but Garrett doesn't see him. We work the ball wide, and from this spot, I think, you know, we need service with our right foot, so cutting the ball back. They're anticipating you going down line jack, so I think you need to work the ball to your right foot there. I think you could have beaten that player 1v1 to the inside and gotten a cross off, because there's players to the back post that are wide open. I think a service with the right foot would have been very dangerous, or work the ball to Cam so that he can serve the ball in the back post. But we work the corner, which isn't necessarily on for us. It takes us a bit to get the ball around where we want to eventually is to get the ball to Cam. They're cutting it off, right? This is not necessarily a good chance for us, but we try to attempt it across there instead of working the ball around. You can see how many players we've drawn towards the ball. Now we got to work to the other side of the field, and basically this is what, you know, creates the goal. We serve the ball in the box from the left to the right. Right, I think Cam could do a better job here of getting the ball off his foot. You know, a number of times he stops the ball dead. You're just not going to get the power that you want, having to back up to then kick the ball. All right, we don't have the leg strength to do that. But in it, you know, it's a good service that puts pressure, at least a decent service that puts pressure on them. We're able to win the second ball and basically work the ball wide, which is what we want. Right, in and then back out and then back in again. This is the type of play that we need that leads to goals. Good service, great finish. Right, you can see how the ball is moved 1 and 2 touch. Players will recognize the pressure. You know, right from Garrett, once he beats his player here, he's looking for the next pass. He has Tyler and Billy. Right, he chooses a more dangerous pass, which is good there. Billy decides to work the ball wide. Tyler's working the 2v1, and they're all over the place, right? Defensively, they're not in a good spots defensively to stop us, and we recognize it and we're able to capitalize. It's a good cross, very good finish. In this clip, you'll see a poor play out of the back by us that leads to a chance on goal. The video will jump slightly here from when Tyler has the ball to when Raphael has the ball, but we work the ball around basically. And I'm just going to highlight here, just kind of in slow-mo. All right, these are too close of an angle to pass for me. Right, we have an opportunity. And I remember this play specifically is that Raphael's dribbling the ball forward. The defender's kind of baiting him, right, to make this pass to Cam. When the window is available to us, let's just get the ball to the player who's open, right? Let's not wait until we're this tight to try to slip a pass, because you have to be safer here in these positions as a center back. You can't lose these balls, and so the second thing is, as you can see, Cam is advanced and Tyler is advanced, and this is one of the things I think we need to do a better job of. The weak side player, if they don't open up to your side of the field, the weak side defender has to pinch in. Okay, if you see Raphael dribbling the ball forward, that is the third player, right? We basically play with a 2-3-2-3 formation a lot of times. So Raphael and Jake will be behind the play. Garrett's holding, and Tyler and Cam are kind of pushed up in the advanced position. The same with Jack and Ethan, excuse me, are the 2 players behind the play, and there's 3 forwards up top. So a lot of times when we advance, we have a 2-3-2-3 type of a formation. But if another player is advancing the ball, we need to pinch in. Cam probably needs to pull back, and Tyler needs to pull back. But because it's on the weak side, right? Tyler's on the weak side here. He needs to be in a position here that in case Raphael loses the ball, that we're able to recover. And as you can see from this play, it turns into a chance for them. Right? We're not able to recover. Service into the box. Guy's wide open. Luckily, he doesn't take a good first touch. That's a better forward or better player. That's a goal. Clearly, he's wide open. No one's on him. We're too far away to be able to affect this play. Good job there of recovery, right? You were able to get on his first touch, but a better player here. That ball is not 5 yards in front of him. That's a yard in front of him, and he's finishing that ball far post. So you can just see the shape of the team, and this has been a recurring theme. As they actually score a goal, basically, in a similar situation. We're too far forward. We're taking too many chances, especially when we're 1 up. That's the other part of it, is that we're 1 up, so we don't necessarily need to take this, big of a chance. Rafael's not looking to play you. He's not looking to play Billy. There's really no reason why that you need to be in an advanced position, especially ahead of the forward. All right, safe play here, especially if Rafael's dribbling, is to drop in. Right, knowing the situation, right? If we're down a goal, then yes, you might want to start taking chances. So knowing the game situation, we're up a goal. It's early in the game. Let's be safe and just sit in. Obviously, the play here isn't great. Okay, you're assuming that we keep the ball. Rafael should do a better job of releasing it earlier. That's for sure. But let's make sure that this is the gap that keeps getting tested. The gap between our center back and our outside back. On the right hand side, or the left hand side for us, and then the same thing here between Rafael and Cam. That's the gap that teams seem to test us on, and there's going to be a number of clips where they look to play in those gaps, because a team that likes to attack, and which I would do if I was playing against us, is that it's a cat and mouse game. This forward has to decide between defending you or staying up high, and you'll see a lot of teams will just stay up high in anticipation of sloppy play or winning the ball and looking to counterattack in the space that our outside backs are advanced right in their area that they've left, because they're looking to push on and create an overload. Offensively, I want players to take those chances, but in this case, I think we can see why it's not a good spot to do that. Right, game-wise, we're up 1-0. There's no reason to push on, and then in terms of his positioning on the field, he's not the player that's back here, so we don't have our shape. Somebody else needs to cover. We don't want 1v1s. We want 2v1s. Okay, and always think that when you're watching the play, think I need to cover more than I need to get forward. In the terms of, is there a player 1v1 in the back? If Rafael's pushing on or Jake's pushing on, then I need to drop in. I can't be the player that's now advancing myself up the field. In this case, maybe Garrett should stay back. Either way, somebody needs to recognize the danger here, and this is what happens when you don't. All right, poor play out of the back leads to a counterattack, and we're not in a spot to recover. We were because of the bad touch, but we weren't in a good spot to stop the service, that first service. And luckily for us, he takes a bad touch, and we don't get, they don't score. Here's a sequence of us attacking that leads to a couple of good services in the box, and then a shot on goal, or a shot by Tyler. So let it run. We win the first ball and win the second ball and keep possession and work the ball wide, which is good for us. All right, Cam's in a good spot. And here's an opportunity for that outside, or the weak side attacking midfielder here, in this case Jack, the number 10, to work this space. You can see this is the space that often opens up as we work the ball to the side. Right, we just have to start recognizing these moments for our attacking midfielders to attack here, to exploit, because it's on for us for this type of ball into these spaces, as you can see. But Jack's not necessarily seeing it, so I think a flashing run into here, maybe Daniel looks to play that ball across him. Yassine does a very good job of working towards the ball. He's always active. He's going to draw attention, right? And what you have to recognize is that the defense isn't always going to be good. If they pinch in here, then we're trying to work the ball to Billy, right? If they don't, right, then you want to attack the space here with run by either Billy or Jack, depending on where positioning of Billy. But here Jack, though, is wide open. If he had been running here, I think Daniel would have used his left foot. We worked on this today and actually in finishing, is that he would use his left foot and hit a ball into the space, or use it outside of his right to play a ball through here. Either one would work, and either Jack's taking that ball on to work with Billy or taking it himself. We attack the near space. It's not necessarily on for us. This is good, right? We turn away from 5 versus 2, right? There's no reason to take on those players. Work the ball around to the other side of the field. Initially I thought Garrett was going to hit it there. He normally does, but he actually ends up getting away with it and able to play a very good ball with his left foot. Excellent ball to the far side of the field. Good work by Billy to bring it away from pressure. Good service in the box. You'll notice this is what creates chances for us. And I thought Daniel was going to get onto that when I first saw it. Better angle. Possibly he'd get lucky there. The ball bounces to him instead of bouncing away from him. He's on the inside of the defender, which is probably where he should be. If you've seen flicks that's going to his path, right? We get unlucky there, but we're pressing. Keep them in. Good by Ethan to read the next pass. He's been, Ethan's in a good spot. Our midfielders are always looking for the outlet passes or the passes that the players are looking to get out defensively, and so this is a good spot by him to read the next pass. Wins the ball, get it wide for service. Not the greatest ball, but you can see Billy's trying to attack that space, right? The defenders are behind him, 1, 2. Right, he's looking to get that ball back post. Possibly here, what would have scored this goal is if you've seen it, you're in the box, let's get across the defender. This would open up for the back post, right? We need near post, far post activity here, as opposed to staying, yourself. So service in the box, again, we win that ball that comes out, we get it wide. Get it wide even further. All right, Cam does the same thing. Service in the box, Tyler's there now. And I think that is a very good, probably should be a goal. The fact that we missed far post, you probably means you could have got it on frame. Not sure where the defender is in relation to this, if he put you off of it, but we've had a number of these chances. You'll see Winston has a chance like this in this game, and I think Tyler has a chance like this against HMMS. These are the ones we got to put away if we can. Right? I can't exactly see the angle, so I don't know how far he missed it by, but it looks like it's pretty close. But good, the overall pattern you want to notice here is that the ball is served into dangerous areas, right? If we can't break them down with passing, put it in an area we either win the first ball with a header on goal, or we win the knockdown. So we're able to then spray it wide again if we can't get a shot off or get a combination play that leads to a shot, get it wide again, serve the ball in the box. And you can see that constant pressure here leads to a chance on goal. In this clip, you'll just see some of our passing in the attack in the midfield. Just a couple of things I wanted to highlight here. Good step here by Rafael to read it and win the ball. Win the ball, and we switch to point of attack, which is good. Doesn't force it, plays simple. And as this ball comes in, eventually to Yassine, we got to see the pass to Jack, right? This is the next pass, and I think one of the things that Yassine does a very good job here is holding the ball, but the whole circling and it's like that isn't necessary. Taking extra touches, we got to find the ball off of you. So it's either Ethan or Jack that you're looking to play here. And both of them actually are available when this ball comes in. Right, this ball comes into your feet. A one-touch pass here to Ethan to Jack, and we're out the other side of the field. But you turn away from it. Not sure what you saw there, but that's definitely a play that is on for us because the defenders are on you. There's no one on Jack, no one on Ethan there, no one on Jack. Definitely could play out there quickly and switch the point of attack. We win the ball back. You end up losing it shortly, but win the ball back. Here, just a little sloppy, right? The field's not the greatest. I don't think we see the pressure, right? Talking here gets us out of this stuff, right? Tyler gives the ball to Garrett. Tell him what to do with the ball. Right? You see the guys coming onto him from behind. He's not necessarily going to see that, so Jake's got to talk to him. These guys who see the pressure coming have to help him. We want to do a better job of communicating here so that we don't lose the ball. Now the conditions aren't great, but a one-touch back to Tyler, and then out to Jake, and we're out the other side of the field. We end up getting it there, but it just takes us a second. We potentially could lose the ball against a better defensive team. But Garrett does a good job to fight for it and win the ball, switch a point of attack. And here's a new pattern that I think we need to work on here. It's more of an underlapping play from here. Instead of requiring Jack to have to turn into pressure, which he does, he gets away with it. He's able to get away with that. That's what usually loses the ball, right? This type of play where we're cutting the ball into the guy is usually what gets stolen. Okay, how do we get out of this? Cam plays the ball instead of looking to go online. You fake the down line run. So you fake that run, and you just drop into this space right here for a layback, a pass back to you, and then out to Ethan, and then Ethan out to Billy, right? And that's how we get out through this. The same way as Jack turning, we can do this. On the opposite side, it was Tyler to Garrett, and back to Tyler and around. Same idea is that you get the ball into a player, get it back to that same player again, and then we switch up one of attack. And I think that's easier. We want to use ball movement here than trying to turn into pressure and get out of that. Now, he does a good job, breaks the pressure. And to me, once you broke this guy down, we got to go to the right side of the field. Okay, you can see it's set up for us, right, to attack that angle across the field. I think even Ethan's on here. If you put this ball into space, as you can see wide open. Okay, now you do a good job of going upfield, which is fine, right? But I think it was on for us to possibly attack that weak side of the field. And had Cam done that, that's what I would have asked him to do. Now this is a tougher play because I think you're looking to play a ball into Yassine, which is fine. I'll actually let it run out just so you see what happens. You know, on a better field, probably that gets through, or you put the ball a little bit more into space, it probably gets through and puts them under pressure. And then we end up winning a throw deep in their area, which is not bad. So the play doesn't end up being, negative for us. I just think, want to add a pattern to our play, right? Instead of trying to get the give and go, Cam, or not really in this case, you don't really try to get the ball back at all. Drop into a space underneath Jack. If you see he has pressure, run underneath it, and you have the space to play in here, get it back, and that opens up. Now you are the attacking midfielder. Jack can drop in behind if he has to, and you can take his space and now attacking that across the field, which is what you want to do. Now Jack does a good job here, turning out away from pressure, and now it's that, can we find the other side of the field? I know it's obvious for us to attack. You see Yassine, you see Daniel, these guys are active, but it's the guys who are away from that are usually the players you want to find. And now I saw one thing when I was here, instead of playing this long ball to Yassine, or through ball to Yassine, one of the things you can potentially do is to hit a diagonal ball across the field. Now if you saw it, this would be with your left foot. Billy would have to be expecting it, but a ball like from here, off this shoulder, because he's running with Yassine, these balls here into this space are very dangerous. And I think this type of pattern, what we want to recognize is that when we break pressure and we're around midfield, players are running at the back four, especially to one side of the field, not down the center. We have to recognize that when our forwards start to run away and run that off on an angle, and Daniel starts to run over to this side of the field, it's that this weak side defender does a poor job usually of tracking to this side of the field. Right? He should probably be in here. Right? The forward should be working back on Tyler. This center defensive midfielder should be working, on this side. These are all poor defensive positions to me, right? And a ball, even a blind ball, from this space, we break pressure around midfield. I think we need to recognize it. You saw Daniel earlier in the example where Jack was open, kind of in the same position, and the defender wasn't pinching in. Now Jack has broken pressure, almost in the same exact spot. Right? We have runners basically running away from the play, towards the strong side. So Yassine's working towards it, Daniel's working towards it, into the spaces that are obvious, right in front of the ball. But the space that's off of that is what's usually open. And I think even in this case, a blind ball, you might not have seen it when you first broke here. You might have. You have time right here to possibly look up. It's that space. Even Ethan can attack that. Billy can attack it. I think we can get that through ball into space over here will probably be more dangerous than the through ball to Yassine running in behind over on this near side. So, a couple of patterns is to add to this, underlapping from the outside backs to the midfielders, right? Especially if you can get the ball back here, Cam, and then find the other side of the field. But once we break pressure in the midfield, it's not the near side that's always on for us. I think we got to recognize that weak side play. Right, to the other side of the field that could be on for us as well. Right, obviously if they're pinched in and covering, then no, we'll play to the near side and draw them towards them even more. Right, and then we open up to switch to point of attack to see if they do create those spaces. But we got to start recognizing, right? We've seen the pattern a few times before, and now in the gameplay is where we need to see these. While we're on the run of play is where we need to see these patterns. We see where the defense is weak. And there's a couple opportunities here for us to switch. One there, one as Ethan's running through there. And as you break this guy down, possibly across the field there. So it's a few things to want to highlight, and I don't want to forget about Yassine in the beginning as well, playing one touch. But the final product here, once we do switch to point of attack, it's on for us once we break midfield to really get a scoring opportunity from a distance when we play a long ball into space, which we don't necessarily do a great job of. And I think we can do a better job of recognizing these moments right here. These moments, exploit this space right here. In this clip, you'll see a good counterattack by us. Just let it run out. We win the ball. Not the greatest clearance, but we're able to pick it up. We read it, which is good by Jack. Play the way he's facing. When Jack plays the way he's facing here, and then Garrett looking to play forward quickly into Yassine. Yassine battles for it, which is great work by him, and we're breaking off of that. And really, it's just, can we play quicker through the situation? Either get a service there or a cross or something. You know, there's probably an opportunity to shoot once you beat a player like this, right? You know, it's not necessarily our strongest foot, but can we get a shot off there? No. You know, I was hoping that we get service out of this because we counterattack. We need to find something. Now, you draw all this pressure and we don't get anything out of it. So we just want to highlight, you know, opportunities to possibly do more with this. Pops are give and go there, maybe not on. Is there on a service there? I think there is, right? You work the ball here, and he's either a give and go or a chip ball for over this defender, right? Into the space for I think this is Jack running in behind. There's no reason to do it again. Now once you've gotten it here, again, a little service. Jack's open now, right? Little service into the back post. These are hard passes. I'm not gonna lie. But if you watch, again, the best players, when I watch Barcelona play, these are the, you know, when you take a player on, it doesn't have to be a hard cross. It's just a little chip. There, right? And now you sealed off. Now nothing's on, right? And once you took this extra touch, now that's done. I mean, the player's coming in. He's gonna win that ball. So it just took too long. I think once we broke them down, watch it again. Your head's up, which is good. You're taking your player on, which is good. Cut the ball back, little chip ball. Just put it in the area that's dangerous, little chip ball. And I think we would have had an opportunity to possibly get something on it because there's 2 versus 1 at the back post. Yassine's there for us, you know, as well as an option. You know, initially when I saw this, he's showing up here for a give and go. He works near post. He works away. He comes back. He's there for a give and go. He possibly could have slipped him a pass there. Even, you know, these are the angles where you need to find something. Shot, cross, give and go. You know, the dribbling option, just to dribble, isn't the greatest option. I don't think. You get closed off of it, especially when you've taken a player on 1, 2. You've done one move, you've beaten him. You beat him again, right? You don't need to beat him a 3rd time. And I think there was many opportunities there. There weren't easy opportunities, but there's definitely opportunities where you just need to just put the ball in an area. Sometimes it's just a chip ball, toe poke it, whatever it is, gets us into the area, and we can take our chances. In this clip, you'll just see a missed opportunity for us to shoot first time on goal, and and what leads from that, results from that. So sloppy play here. We're not the greatest combination play, but we're getting the ball forward, or we're winning in 50-50 balls, we're pressuring them. So it's not it's not highlighting anything special here, but we get the ball, we get a shot off, good turn and shoot shot by Yassine, and here's the moment that we should shoot. And if you remember from the STA from Bethesda, it's the same exact situation. The ball's rolling across the top of the box. Hit the ball. There's no reason why to put your foot on the ball here. Right? And I remember watching this live vividly, and I'm thinking, that's the window to shoot. The opportunity there to hit the back post, curl it, do whatever you hit it with your laces. You could do anything here, and it would probably be a goal. And I think we passed up an opportunity here to score, looking to dribble to shoot, which in the end isn't a bad shot. I think if you hit it cleanly, it probably would have been dangerous and maybe a goal even. But really, the opportunity was missed. What I wanted you to see often is that the windows are there for us to shoot first time. And this is this is in slow-mo, but even in live, when I watched it live, I was thinking hit that first time. As a forward, there's very rarely a moment where you stop the ball dead like this. And I know this is something that a number of our players do, but there really is, and this is not futsal, right? There's rarely a moment why you couldn't have just taken that to your left foot on your first touch, touched your left, hit again. Instead of doing that, stopping it dead, receive to your left and shoot. Right? There's rarely a moment that I think you should put the bottom of your foot on the ball to stop it, especially if you're an attacking player, to shoot, to create a shooting opportunity. Right? To me, I can't remember many moments in my career where I'm stopping the ball with the top of my foot to get a shot off. And to me, you're missing an opportunity here where you could have hit the ball right there and it would have been a goal. And again, I remember seeing it first, you know, in live time and live speed, and I don't think it was an opportunity that was hard to see. I just don't think we're seeing them. And here's third example in, you know, in our last two or three games where players aren't seeing those opportunities to shoot. This case it was Daniel. Last time I think it was, you know, Daniel as well, but also Eric. You know, our forwards, when these balls are running at you, we need more players thinking of how to shoot and when to shoot, and just being aggressive. You know, earlier in clips you see Garrett passing out of the box basically to keep possession, right? Whereas a more aggressive player might turn and shoot himself. I think this is another instance where had we just had that instinct to finish, that finishing instinct really, we would have put this game away early. We've missed a number of opportunities here now. Tyler's missed one. You'll see one in a bit with Winston, and now this one where I'm thinking, you know, we should be winning this game 2 or 3-0 by halftime, but we're not, and we're tied going into halftime because of small things like this. So the more and more we can see these opportunities and not pass them up, you know, the better chances we have of sealing games off and putting games away early instead of having to fight the entire way. So just wanted to point that out again. This is, again, the third clip now, if you've been keeping track, of an opportunity where a player, the ball's rolling at them easily to their strong foot, both times, all 3 times, and we're having to take extra touches in the box, in a shooting area to score, to try to get a shot off. And I think you got to recognize it takes less touches, and we got to see it and be more aggressive in hitting those balls first time. All right, this is the sequence that leads up to their goal, their first goal. I'll let it run out here. We're playing out of the back, and we choose to hit a long ball across the field to the other side of the field. You know, we've had this happen to us. We've actually hit these balls, and they've been pretty successful with them. And opening teams, especially if teams are pressing us to this side of the field, the near side, a diagonal ball across the field usually opens them up, makes them sit back. So I'm not totally against this ball, but it is risky now that we've identified it as being risky, because this is the second time we've had a goal scored on us on this type of ball. If you remember from last summer, sorry, not last year, last summer, this past summer in regionals when we played Delaware, Raphael was trying to hit a ball to Billy, and they ended up counterattacking down the side, the weak side of where the ball was played, and scoring a goal. And in very similar fashion, this type of ball is picked up here. You know, when I first saw it, I was thinking maybe Tyler shouldn't be in advanced position, but you know, he's trying to win the ball for that's played to Billy. You know, here the reactions aren't great, but really they are okay. We win the second ball, they just get lucky. The ball gets kicked off of Jack, right, into one of their forwards, and we're not able to affect that play. And this is where the mistake is made, if I can rewind it all the way back to the beginning. And if we are going to play these balls, this is what has to happen when we do. As this ball's traveling, and you'll notice here at 8 seconds now it says, let it play, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, now 17, right? Raphael and Cam have not shifted over to that side of the field in nearly 10 seconds. The ball has been played, and we're not wrecking. The players now, when the ball travels to the other side of the field, when I was getting on Tyler earlier, the spacing between him and Jake needs to be closed as the ball is getting played. You know, as the ball's on the other side of the field, if you're the weak side defenders, you need to pinch in. This ball across the field is Cam and Raphael need to now work to close the space between them and Jake. So the spacing, as you see here, is huge. This ball's played, and I'll pause it right at the critical moment. You know, Raphael's just now getting into the picture. Jake, this is Jake. This is our other center back. The space between our 4 defenders cannot ever be this wide. Ever, when we're defending. When the ball's not in clear possession, we don't have clear possession here. Everybody needs to be working back, basically. Everybody on the weak side has to be working back to cover the spaces. So as these players shift over, Raphael should be standing next to number 4, right on number 4. Garrett should be probably recognizing that the forward's behind him and dropping in, trying to win that ball. He's actually not in a bad position, but Raphael definitely needs to be here. Cam needs to be covering him. Jake has no cover. If he loses his ball, if he whiffs it, you need to be there, Rafael, to cover him. If he misses that ball is cleared over his head. I think Tyler's actually in a decent spot given where he was running upfield. Jack's in a decent spot. You know, there's nothing clear for here to Ethan to get back to. But as we rotate back, these players, Rafael, Cam, you know, Daniel and Ethan need to work back as well in this case. And, you know, had they switched a point of attack and we stopped this initial play, maybe 7 would have been on. But we're way too far away. As you can see, it took us 10 seconds, nearly 9, we'll say 9 seconds to run, I don't even know, probably 20 yards. And we don't do it. We're not able to cover the space. Then this ball goes across the field and we don't have clear possession. We need to pinch in. Jake and Rafael, you have to imagine between the 4 defenders that there is a string attached to you and it should never break in terms of 20 yards or more. Right? You should never really be that far away from each other when we're defending. Okay, when we're attacking, we have clear possession. Yeah, you want to split yourselves, allow Garrett to work the middle, all the outside backs to push up a bit. But as soon as the ball turns over, and basically when you saw the player, when Billy didn't win the ball, it's a clear, an obvious situation where we need to get back and in. And you should be sprinting. You should be in picture right now because the ball was played 4 or 5 seconds ago. I think by the time you play this ball, you'll see the forward gets there. Right, the forward is basically was 2 yards from you and is now in the area where you should be, right here. Okay, Cam should be where you are standing now, and you should be with Jake. You guys are partners. So this is the error that was made, even though they got lucky. Get through. The ball gets to the reason why I'm saying you would have been here to tackle this ball. You would have been standing next to this defender. He would have turned right into you. Cam would have been here to help you mark this guy. Garrett would have been there, and I think we would have slowed him down enough. But he's able to run in on goal, basically free. And before you can even get to the ball, he's shooting it. Right? So that means you're way too far away to help cover Jake, and this is what causes the goal. You know, I actually thought Tony was going to save that. It's near post. The really only option that he has is near post. But this is what happens when you give up an opportunity like this, is that you give them a chance to possibly sneak one in on us. And I think he did it. He probably got caught off guard here with a toe ball. Right? I wouldn't have expected a toe ball from there, but he did. He hit it, you know, with his toe, and it probably awkwardly went in the net. You know, I don't know the angle there that Tony had, but Rafael's there. I would think that, you know, probably Tony wanted that one back. But the critical mistake is the positioning of our backs, our spacing between our backs. And I'm going to highlight that now as a thing that we need to work on, or definitely be aware of, because that's where we have breakdowns in our goal. Set pieces, yes, set pieces are one thing. It's, you know, it's just basically organization and effort. But this, to me, is just tactically understanding your spacing and knowing when the ball turns over. Jake and Rafael and Cam and all the back 4 cannot be spread out across the field. Otherwise, this is what can happen. In the end as well, I mean, to me, selling your body here, there's no pass. Go attack the ball. There's no reason to contain here. He's at the top of the box. We need to get to the ball. Tackle. That's not enough. Tackle the ball. Get your body in the way. Block the shot. Right? Do a little better job of just being more physical to win this ball. Because I think you could have. Probably goes through your legs, but in the end, I think it's more of the spacing that causes this as opposed to the ball. Initially, I thought it was the long ball and just not playing that ball anymore, but really it's the spacing when we do play these balls. When we play any long ball, we need to close the distance between where we've served it from and where it's going to, not only to win the ball, but also to be in a good spot defensively for when the ball turns over. Okay, and I think this is one of those learning moments. All right, this happened against us against Delaware. It's now happening against Cincinnati. And I think we need to identify it because it's a critical thing that we need to be able to play these balls, these long balls, and we need to be able to cover the spaces. So just tactically understanding that when the ball is not in clear possession, we need to pinch in it. And as you see Jake work towards the ball to win it, you got to go with him. There's a rope attached to you, imagining, and you got to be his cover. Cam's your cover, Tyler's Jake's cover, and you're Jake's cover, and Rafael is Jake's cover. So those 4 players understand that when the ball moves from left to right or right to left, you know, Tyler before needed to pinch in, Right, he got away with it, but he definitely gave up an opportunity there. In this case, Raphael and Cam need to pinch in, and then this time we did give up our opportunity, but it led to a goal. This clip is just another chance on goal that, another missed opportunity that we've had in this first half to really go up a couple goals. Good ball into the box. It's dangerous. It puts them under pressure. The keeper comes out, and really, we got to score that. That's one of the easier ones we could have had. I'm sure 9 times out of 10, I think Winston hits these. He's had these before. He just mishits it. Maybe the defender was a bit in the way. He's trying to get it past the defender that's running back to try to save it. Ends up curling out of the box or past the goal and away from goal, and we're not able to score. And you take Daniel's one-time shot, this chance, Tyler's chance, and a couple other missed opportunities in that first half. And in this first half, you'll see that this is the reason why we lost the game, is that we just weren't putting our chances away. This is the chance when we had them. We're putting pressure on them. They got a lucky goal. They got a fortunate goal, I would say. And by sloppy play by us, caused it. But really our finishing, if our finishing was better, it wouldn't have been an issue. We would have come into the half still up, still positive, still going, and I think went on to win this game. But you miss these many chances, especially easy one like this, and you're putting yourself in a risk to lose the game. In this clip, I just wanted to show what switching a point attack and a range, a player's ability with range in this passing can do to open up the field for us. It doesn't amount to a much. We nearly get in, but just wanted to highlight that this little sequence right here. We're decent passing at, I think we did a pretty good job of moving the ball. I think we could have done better. It's not, the best possession out of the back, especially in, these type of passes where the center backs, like in this case, Raphael's trying to slot a pass through. That's tough, tight. There's not much on that the player could do with the ball, to me. And it's not on for us. Let's just work it to the other side of the field. To the other side. If you don't see a clear passing angle or a space to play into, let's play simple. But either way, we pick up the pieces here, eventually winning the ball back. Garrett does a great job here, and immediately plays a great ball that opens up the field to the other side of the across the field to Winston. And you remember earlier I was talking about Jack in these situations where you're in the midfield, you've broken pressure. This time by in defense we've broken pressure. We've gotten past a number of other players, and swinging the ball here with his left foot is a technique that all of our midfields need. Right, that range in passing, and you've seen a number of times in this game, is what opens them up here, and really just better timing from Winston and Yassine in terms of, Winston does a great job of beating his defender to the inside. Yassine's looking for the ball now, and it comes a half a second too late, and he's run past it. Right, and I think what I wanted to highlight really is the skill in the actual pass from here by Garrett to open them up. He's got his head up. He's hitting the ball across the field. He's not attacking these spaces initially. He's looking to break these two guys down with a direct ball, and it does. I mean, we're able to get in the ball in a deep spot. They're having to recover. Now we work the ball again across the field, which is what we want to do. The defenders having to recover that direction. We basically cut across them to play, and now just a slightly better timing between these two players. You've seen probably wanted the ball now, so he can run onto it, but it comes behind him and he's not able to react to it in time. And even then, there's probably passes for us to make. If we didn't see that pass, we could work the ball around the other side of the field if we had to. But this is a good play. I think this is a good combination. This is something we want to attack. It's 2v2, right? And I think just a better timing there would have obviously got us a chance on goal. But really, I wanted to highlight what a long ball across the field, if you do it right and have the right technique and range in passing, can do to open up defenses. In this clip, you'll just see just a missed opportunity really to shoot with our weaker foot. I think you've seen, there's a number of opportunities where a number of players, I think, pass up chances to shoot because it's on their weaker foot. So let this one play out. Again, we win the ball, switching point of attack, playing around, playing simple, moving the ball 1-2 touch. Good here by Dean to break pressure. Earlier I asked for Cam to possibly work on the inside, but the inside space is not there. The outside space is available to it, right? So good to get in. Now we're try to work the ball across the field. get a little fortunate here, right? As we win this ball here, we got to look to play that next touch, right? I think he takes a bad touch here and ends up hitting off the defender, but I think his ideas are good. We're just continuing across the field. Good little lob pass here, right? One of the things I want our players to work on is this little chip ball over top, and really I want to fire the ball. This is you know, if this is on Yassine's left foot, I think he fires it. And you know, if I was in this situation and I got in behind on this touch right here, I'm looking to fire there. So you don't need to get any closer, right? You're already at the top of the box. That's a shot to me. You don't know what's going to happen, right? It could get blocked, it could get deflected, whatever. But you need to take these chances. These are half chances that I think we pass up. You know, a little bit less clear than Daniel's earlier, but definitely an opportunity where we can shoot. And you'll see a second chance here again, actually, by Jack. Dean does a good job to pick up the second ball. Good service in the box. And to me, you know, if this was on his right foot, I think he volleys it in the net, right? Again, it's on his weaker foot, so he's probably not as confident, but this is a volley to goal. You're passing from the 6 to the 18 as opposed to basically passing into the net. Under no real pressure. There's a guy behind you, but he's not close enough to really affect the play. And I think had this been on your right foot, you would have definitely attempted on goal. It's not a bad layoff in the end. I think we could have got a better shot off on goal, but you can see that we're passing up these opportunities to shoot when we're in clear scoring chances, especially, you know, Daniel's earlier. You know, this is somewhat of a half chance for Yassine on his right foot, right? You think the defender's going to block it, so you're cutting the ball back, but to me, take these chances. Hit the ball there. He's not really going to recover. Take your chance, and you never know what might happen. And then obviously here on Jack's, as this ball goes wide, good by Dean to you know, follow the play up and continue. And he doesn't waste any time. He gets the ball in the box. The defender's not covering it. Whack into the far post, right? This is the volley into the net. There's no need to be a little bit more selfish here. I got on Garrett earlier for being unselfish by keeping possession in an area in the box. He probably could have turned and shot himself or laid off to a more dangerous situation where Ethan can shoot. In this case, you know, the pressure isn't necessarily there to stop you from shooting, especially because the defender is not getting to the ball before you do. I just don't think you're as confident in finishing with your left foot, or you think you can here, and you're seeing the pass. You know, in the end, it's not a bad idea. You know, had Ethan shot better on goal, I probably would have said great pass. But, you know, there's a number of instances where in this game, in the, you know, San Diego game especially, we're not using our weak foot to shoot because we're just not confident. And this will be something that we need to develop over time. Players taking those opportunities, practicing on that, you know, working them in practice, and developing that weak foot so that you can, in these situations, whack the ball in the back of the net. It's an easy finish. Really, you just need to position yourself just like you did to lay the ball off, but hit the ball into a corner, basically, with your left foot. So, you know, overall, you know, previous clip, you saw Garrett hitting the ball with his left foot. Again, I want my midfielders to have that range with their weak foot. And a number of clips you've seen now, there are missed opportunities either because we're not seeing the shooting opportunity or we're passing them up because it's on our weak foot. And I think we need to develop both sides of our body so that we don't have any issues scoring goals when it's not on our strong side. Eventually, defenders will start to cover your strong sides, what you normally do. So if you like to dribble, they're going to cover, you know, dribble to your right. They're going to start to cover that. You got to start to finish to your left, and develop that ability to go both ways, be a double or triple threat with both feet. Very few players can, especially attacking players, can live off of being a one-footed player, and usually those players are very special. They're very creative type players. So to me, these are, you know, two clear chances where. Or, you know, half chances where we could have gotten a shot on goal, but we passed them up because we wanted to go to our strong side.